window is really continuous, but we didn't want to mess up with our pretty graphics. But the access to parking is here. So this also allows residents to come in off of 2nd Ave and access that ramp rather than making this movement, which is extremely difficult, from Steele heading west and then turn back to head east.
So Andy, is the entrance up of 2nd two-way?
Yes, it is two-way.
Okay.
Yes, so you can come in, sorry, thank you. You can come in here. It's the same, it's two-way, but we wish to keep it as narrow as it has been. It's currently 15 feet. So we'll expand it to about 18 feet, but you can come in and coordinate the efforts coming in and out.
One thing to keep in mind is your streetscape development with that alley entry will be really limited because of sight lines.
Yes, with the sight triangles, both pedestrian and vehicular. Yes, agreed.
And driveway will need to be 20 feet maybe per code.
So Andy, to restate, the resident traffic, valet traffic will come in from 2nd and depart from 2nd.
Correct.
And service come in from Steele and depart back onto Steele?
Yes. Brian, let me just correct one thing. The valet would come in, drop off, and then valet can come straight down into the garage. I'm sorry.
Andy, this is Callie with the board. You mentioned that the service trucks will be leaving off the Steele as well. Yes. Looking at where this crash area is and the loading, how are you going to prevent multiple trucks from being in that alleyway loading area? How will they try to get it out that same way if somebody's already entered back through?
I'm not sure if I understand your question. If multiple trucks are in our loading zone?
Yeah, so if somebody's in this loading area, right, that another truck coming in off of Steele isn't going to know there's a truck back there. So that's what I'm just anticipating happening. We see our alley, multiple trucks stuck in there, even when there's another way to exit. Seeing here that somebody's going to have to turn around and exit the same way. Just wondering how you're going to prevent that truck service jam.
Sure. Well, we're working. It's a big question, but I think what we're satisfied with and comfortable with when we can create both a 24-foot alley here, two-way, very comfortable two-way alley here, and then a lot of room to breathe in here. This line right there where this open space, we wish to keep it landscaped, as I mentioned earlier, as deep as possible, but we'll have to work on where this line is. It's far deeper than is required by the open space requirements of the zoning, which really only get to about here. But I think if that were to happen, if we were not to coordinate multiple service points at the same time, that truck could come in and sit beside another truck and wait, and these could come out. Again, this area, we think by giving up this land for all of these activities, we can really relieve a lot of the existing stress. It's certainly not contributed to it, but relieve some of the stress as well on this existing alley by having the 24-foot wide and ample room in here for maneuvering of multiple vehicles if that should exist.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
Would the 8 foot is proposed on the alley be a dedicated access easement?
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear.
Would it be proposed to add to the east-west alley up a Steele? Would that be a dedicated permanent access easement?
Oh, I see. Thank you. Yes, that would. I believe, perhaps Olga can correct me, but I believe the existing 16 feet would be vacated. And then the 8 feet, additional feet, what we've discussed with 155 Steele, the Laurel, we have discussed a permanent agreement that would provide access to both properties so that it behaves and acts exactly as all one cohesive space. Does that answer your question?
That sounds like dedicated to me.
Yeah.
It seems like it needs to be dedicated. It sounds like it.
I mean, it becomes private property, but it would be, it's dedicated shared access, permanently shared access. It's not just some verbal agreement.
So it's a communal access for all three property users.
When we're looking
No.
for it like this, we typically try to have same dimensions for private access, shared access, as it would be an alley. And the minimum required width of the public alley is 20 feet. So we will be looking for shared three-quarter shared access, shared between owners, minimum 20 foot wide.
Right, so it exceeds that. Any other questions from the board? Can I ask for a motion? All right, well, I'll make a motion.
I do have a comment, and this is really going to be more when the covenants for the project are created and how you manage that access. And we share an alley with Callie's group, so I understand where she's coming from with the backup. And you know, it's a daily occurrence that the trash truck comes and there are two semis in the alley and the trash truck just leaves because they can't get in, they have to stay on a schedule. And so there's got to be something built into the covenants, something to share with your client that talks about how that's going to be controlled. Is there going to be a dock master or something along that line? Always in area 4, because with 2 restaurants, multiple semis, lots of trash, I love what you tried to do, but in practice, it's going to be really, really congested unless there's some rules around how it's managed. So that's just a comment for you to take that.
Thank you.